Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'll try to keep a bit quiet. Try. Wake up. A bit late here today, my stream. It's only gonna be an hour, so it's fine. 1 second, I forgot to take out chat. Yeah, sorry for being a bit late. Later than usual on this stream. But I decided, listen, this stream is okay. Because whenever I do these Premier League prediction streams, I get more views on the what you call it, on like people rewatching the stream, watching the replay, and actually doing it live. Still doing this stream a bit late. I don't think it matters. Big up to everyone in chat. Big up Rosa. Do like and subscribe. Always helps out a ton. Hello Wim. Hello, how are you? Oh, Romeo Vermont fucking robbed against Barcelona, but he's in the Belgian national team. People don't get it. Listen, Premier League fans watching this who don't know who Romeo Vermont is. This guy is going to be he is a world-class striker. Yeah? World-class. He's not playing right now because he's coming back from an injury. But when he starts playing again, goal, 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 goal. He scores for fun, bruv. Scores for fun. You don't see chat, my apologies. There you go, fix that. Carlos Forbes, ole ole. Yeah, Carlos Forbes also. He was playing like prime R9 into Man City Academy. Man City decided to sell him. Basic Man City stuff. Romeo Vermont and Erling Haaland, yo. That does not make sense, but that will take the piss. I would love to see that. Striker partnership of Romeo Vermont and Erling Haaland. It would make no sense, but it's so good to watch. It will never happen, but it will be very entertaining. For all the wrong reasons, of course. But is there a right reason to be entertained? I guess there is not. Let's get started then. Right, the first game is Tottenham against Man United. This is a difficult game. First of all, because Spurs somehow are better away than at home. Unless they play Man City, then they'll figure out how to play at White Hart Lane. For some reason, Spurs have a poor start at home. Maybe it's coincidence, maybe. I actually went on a members-only stream with on Sava's channel earlier today. And they discussed some interesting stuff that I didn't really know about Spurs. Like, apparently their stadium is fucked now. They can't sell out. Hey, by the way, Spurs can't sell out their stadium. Massive Spurs. One of the real clubs. Oh, look at that. So Man United can't sell their stadium out. Liverpool can't. And Spurs can't. But when City can't sell out stadium, then it's a problem. Anyhow, that's besides the point. The Spurs, right now, not quite the best at home. This is why it's a difficult game. Let me take you guys through my logic. So, Spurs have the better manager by a country mile. I rate Frank so much higher than I rate, what's his name? Amorim. Now, when I talk to a Spurs fan, I will tell the Spurs fan that Thomas Frank is shit. Because it rattles them. But Thomas Frank is one of the best managers in the league, if I'm being honest with you guys. So just that is a big advantage. Then you look at the players, right? Right back, left back, Spurs have no one. That's trash. Pedro Porro, woeful. Jet Spence. Like, these are not good players. They get a lot of hype. Like, these are players with hype here and performances here. Jet Spence has 2 good games, 3 bad games, but people will talk about the 2 good games. Pedro Porro, he's a good player, but he's not playing well at the moment. He's in poor form. Then you look at Man United. fullbacks. So, and you're like, what are they doing here? Who do they even play at this point? Because they've been through everyone. Like, their fullbacks are woeful. So, you look at both, and you're like, yeah, fullbacks, that ain't it. Okay, centre backs. I don't know why I'm wearing this, by the way. I'm not listening to anything. Then you look at centre backs, and Van de Ven is a good centre back. Let me get that straight. Van de Ven is a good centre back. He's got balls and moments, but it's not regular. He will have a balls and moment once in a while, but not regularly. Romero is average. It's above average. Romero is above average, but he's not great. So you've got a good centre back and an above average centre back here. You've got 2 fullbacks, 1 out of 4, one hella overrated. I mean, that's not a good defense from Tottenham. You look at the goalkeeper, Vicario, he's average. But then I look at Man United, right? And I poke through the issues at Man United. First of all, their manager is average. Second of all, they have no fullbacks, no centre-backs, no good ones anyhow. De Ligt, don't know what happened to him. Maguire, if he plays. Lenny Yoro is so bad, I don't understand why people rate him. So all these players... like, I'm just comparing defenders right now between Tottenham and Man United. It's so problematic. But here's the difference. Tottenham have Paulinho. They have... I don't know who they're starting at the moment. I'm not sure what Frank will do, actually. But they have Paulinho, they've got Bentancur. Not sure who's going to be the third midfielder. If I had to guess, maybe Xavi Simons will play in midfield. Simons could play left wing or midfield. I'll go with Simons in midfield. Let's assume that. Paulinho, Bentancur, Simons. Paulinho is second best 6 in the Premier League. The best is Rodri. Second best is Paulinho. Declan Rice is better than Paulinho, but not as a 6. He's better as an 8, but not as a 6. So they've got a top 6 there. Okay, Bentancur, he's average. Right? He's average. But that's okay, because you have Paulinho there. And nothing that Man United has in midfield can compete with a player of the quality of Paulinho. Then you've got Xavi Simons. I don't rate him highly. I think he's overrated. He's a Bundesliga merchant, as you have many. But he gets an assist once in a while. He gets output, right? He gets output from midfield. So, okay, allow it. That is way better than whatever Man United can put in midfield. Bruno Fernandes can get output, fair. But what else do you have in that midfield? And what else does Bruno Fernandes offer you? Listen, I rate output. I'm not one of these people who does not recognize output. If you score goals, if you provide assists, that is huge. But if it's the only thing you provide, then you need other people to help you. Because otherwise you won't get the goals or assists. The only thing Bruno Fernandes provides is output. You put a world-class 6 with him and a world-class 8. Bang. You've got a world-class Bruno Fernandes. However, you put him next to a washed Casemiro, Kobe Mainu, Ugarte, who are they gonna play next to Casemiro? And you don't get the best out of Fernandes, who I also think is not... I think Bruno Fernandes, by the way, is regressing. I mean, this is a difficult game, this Tottenham Man United game, because it's a game of who is worse. Not who is better, but who is worse. Then you look at the attack. Brian Mbeumo for Man United, brilliant player. Kudus for Tottenham, brilliant player. Probably the best player between those two clubs. Outfield players. I don't like to compare goalkeepers to outfield players. I think it's just impossible to compare them. Which is why I think goalkeepers should be banned from the Ballon d'Or. Like, just ban them from the Ballon d'Or. Because they don't get the respect they deserve anyhow. So you ban them from the Ballon d'Or and make an entirely separate award, which has its own ceremony, and that has nothing to do with anything. But anyhow, Kudus probably the best player on that pitch. And you've got Embuemo, who's very close to Kudus. He gets more output, but doesn't create as much, and I would say. And he's a bit reliant on pace, I feel like, Embuemo. I think Kudus, you can be deep blocking the fuck you want, yeah? Kudus will do something. Embuemo, I feel like, is sometimes reliant on pace. Not always, but sometimes. So, overall, I'd say Kudus is better. But then you look at the strikers. Sesko? I rate Sesko. I'm not gonna sit here and say Sesko is shit, because a lot of people do that. But he's not an out-and-out striker. He's a left winger, or he's a second striker. Like, he's the guy who hangs off the taller striker. Sesko would be very good hanging off Erling Haaland. If Sesko was hanging off Erling Haaland, or eat feast. But he's not hanging off Erling Haaland. He is the tall man up top, and he's just not good at that job. He can hold a play, but that's bare minimum. You can't praise a player for doing bare minimum, can you? Not that Man United, at least, you'd say. So this is not really a good striker. Then you look at Tottenham. They don't have a striker. Call him, like, really? Muani? Like, what are we doing here? This is the battle of mids. I swear it now. This is the battle of mids. Then you go to left wingers. Oh, by the way, you can't put Šeško on the left wing because he's too slow. It works in the Bundesliga, or in La Liga, where pace isn't as needed. In the Premier League, you kind of need some pace on the left wing. Unless you've got insane technical ability, which Šeško doesn't. So left wing is going to be Cunha for the Man United. I presume it will be either Alderweireld or Johnson for Tottenham. Cunha, let me talk about Cunha. He's so overrated. Whenever he played at Wolves, I said, he's okay. But he's not that guy. And his best position was in midfield. Now he's on the wing. So this is an overrated player, as is. Overrated in his best position. Shoved onto a position where he has worked. Without a functional midfield behind him. Without a striker. People are like, oh, why is Cunha not turning good at Man United? He can't. Look at what's around him. So Cunha is gonna do fuck all. Then I look at Brennan Johnson or Alderweireld. I assume it's gonna be Brennan Johnson, and I'll say why. Alderweireld is shit. He's got no technical ability, he's got little pace, his passing is poor, his decision making is poor. There's nothing Alderweireld does at elite level. Nothing. There's nothing. Oh, but he's young. I don't even know if he's young. Doesn't matter. He's not that guy. He is not that guy. So Alderweireld, you know what this guy needs, yeah, Alderweireld? He needs 2 seasons out on loan. He's not ready to play in the Premier League. Then you look at Brennan Johnson. Okay, he gets output. Again, I respect output. People don't place enough respect on output. But if the only thing you provide is output, which is the case for Brennan Johnson, that's fine if you have other players around you who can provide the other things. Who can provide the passing, the creativity, the control, all of that. Spurs don't have that. So Brennan Johnson gets output. Fun. Where are you going from there? How are you getting the ball into Brennan Johnson against a big opponent? You're not. Because the system around Brennan Johnson doesn't exist, and Brennan Johnson cannot create himself. I respect the output. He will be very good in a Tottenham team that has players who can create for him. But that doesn't exist in that Tottenham team. So I look at both these squads and I think this is horrendous. Spurs. Shit. And United. Yeah, and I'm like, what is this? This is a big six clash. Bro, this feels like a mid-table clash right now. I look at these two teams here. I look at these team sheets and I'm like, this is not a game I want to watch. This is not a game I would sit down and watch. I mean, it's shit. It's shit. That's what this game is. The teams are nowhere near the level they should be. What I will say is Man United has one advantage, and that is Sander Lammens. Now, I'm actually I didn't mean back my mic, my apologies. I'm actually Belgian. There's a Club Brugge kit behind me. If you can, I don't even know if you can see that. I am Belgian. I knew how good Sander Lammens was before he went to the Premier League. I told people he's an excellent goalkeeper that always turns up in big games. So I knew he was going to go to Man United and improve them. He is the difference, I think, in this game. Because everywhere over the pitch, you can kind of compare. Okay. Tottenham have one good defender. Man United has one decent defender. Both have one good midfielder and one average midfielder. Both have one good attacker and one average attacker. That's a bit fair to Tottenham, really, but both have one good attacker. But in goalkeepers, an average goalkeeper against an incredible goalkeeper. I think that's going to be the difference. So, difficult this one, but I'll go 1-2. 1-2 to Man United. That's my honest thoughts for this game. Okay, I went on quite a rant here. Let me get back to chat. Ajax sacked the manager. Oh, you told me this before. Yeah. Heitinga, gone. Slot's best right-hand man, bruv. Sad days. Sad days. I hope they get words. I so hope they get words. Yes, Michael, if you're watching. Spurs will beat Man United because they are good. Sorry. Spurs will beat Man United not because they are good, but because it will be funny. Hey, I respect it. I respect it, Rosa. Thomas Frank and Ruben Amorim. I mean, you look at those managers, and there's a world apart. Thomas Frank, he's a top developer of players. He's a top coach. He's a top organizer of a club. Like the backstage stuff, top. His tactics, elite. Adaptability, incredible. Defensive football, attacking football. Top coach. And then you look at Ruben Amorim and you're like, yeah. So that is a huge difference. But I still think Sander Lammens is a bigger difference than that. Hello, big up to Ethan. How are you? It's like Ghent not sold out. Hey, that's half the Premier League at this point. Not Rosa, sorry, Wim. People don't talk about this in the Premier League. Empty Hat. West Ham, Arsenal, and Fulham are the three only Premier League clubs that sell out their stadium for the majority of games. There's only 3 clubs in the Premier League that sell out their stadium most games. Why do people talk about Empty Hat? Bruv, Anfield is empty. Old Trafford is empty. White Hart Lane is empty. But people talk about Empty Hat. Bruv, fuck off, isn't it? Savio goal incoming. Nah. Don't be silly. It's not silly. I can't see him score. I just can't. Van de Ven. I like Van de Ven, but he's a very good centre back, but he's not that step above, is he? And City needs nah. Alicio Castromonte. Listen, I rate Castromontes. Don't get me wrong. I think Castromontes should play for Belgium. But that does not make him good enough for Man City. Keepers have Yashin Awards. Yeah, but it's not the same. Yashin Award is like the side bitch award. If you ban goalkeepers from the Ballon d'Or, you can't win the Ballon d'Or. You're a goalkeeper. It's only for outfield players. Now the Lev Yashin Award becomes the main show. And now you make the Yashin Award, one, a better looking trophy. And two, you make it actually the main thing. You make it a big event. Kind of like the Ballon d'Or ceremony. You have its own ceremony, or you give it more time within the Ballon d'Or ceremony. And now it actually feels like a respectable thing to win, rather than the side bitch trophy. And the Lev Yashin Award is also not voted on the way the Ballon d'Or is. So make it voted on like the Ballon d'Or, give it more time, make it the only award goalkeepers can compete in, and now that award has higher prestige. And goalkeepers don't get robbed of the Ballon d'Or anymore, because they don't participate. That's Solanke's shit. And Richarlison is worse. Big up, Prem. Thank you for being in. Spurs win 5-0. That's a bit enthusiastic. I think they'll lose 1-2, to be honest. Savio can't finish, Ethan. I respect the excitement, but Savio can't finish. Anyhow, Everton Fulham is the next game. I've been live for 25 minutes and we've just started this game too. Everton Fulham. Grealish FC. What else can I say? General Barry is not starting well, is he? General Barry, listen. He's young, then don't play. If you're not good enough because you're too young, then don't play. Like that's the thing. He's young, okay, go on loan. Peter Hayes is young. He's on loan. He's balling out. If you're young, can't be an excuse when you're in the starting 11. Sure, he's young. He's paid £50,000 a week. I'm not sure what to say about that. Lamine Yamal is younger. If you're young and you're not quite at the level yet, and you can be in the future, go out on loan, sit on the bench, don't play, fine, that's okay. But don't say, oh, he's young, it's okay to be bad. No, it's never okay to be bad at your job. Because that's what it is, a job. It's never okay to be bad at your job. If you're 90 years old or 16 years old, if you have a job, you have to do it well. If it's a difficult job, you get paid more. Football is a difficult job. You have to be extremely talented. Okay, he's fair. He's young. He's not good enough. Go out on loan. I don't accept that as an excuse. But nah, Everton against Fulham. Fulham has been pretty poor this season. I mean, Craven Cottage is always a place to go and play, I suppose. I mean, the thing is with Craven Cottage, yeah, it's fucking tiny. Like, that is an absolutely tiny stadium. If anyone's never been there, so I've not been there. I'm not saying this like I've been there, but it's like right on the River Thames. I think it's the River Thames, right? Or is it not the river? I think it's on the Thames. It's right on the River Thames stadium. And it's so fucking tiny. And everything is so fucking squished together. It creates an incredible atmosphere. Like, that's why Craven Cottage has that atmosphere. But I don't know. I mean, this game is at Goodison Park, or whatever the new stadium is called. But I don't know. Fulham hasn't been quite it this season, and I don't know why Fulham has been struggling. I've not watched any games of Fulham. I've seen the scores. I've seen some statistics on Fulham. But I've not watched any games, and maybe I should. Maybe I should watch this game tomorrow. Maybe I should see why Fulham is struggling. In fact, I'll do that. I'll do a watch-along to this game tomorrow. but they can't get a win over the line. They scored in every game except against Arsenal, but nobody scored against Arsenal. If you go through the other games, yeah, since the start of the season, 1-1 with Brighton, they scored. 1-1 with Man United, they scored. 2-0 loss against Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, okay, acceptable. 1-0 win over Leeds, okay. 3-1 win over Brentford, convincing. Then they lose to Aston Villa, but they scored. They lose to Bournemouth, but they scored. They don't score against Arsenal, but again, nobody scored against them. They scored against Newcastle when they lose. They beat Wolves 3-0. They've been scoring. But for one reason or another, they can't get the game over the line. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting, I think, to see how they do. I've no idea, to be honest, for Fulham. Castagne, I don't rate. He's Belgian, and I have very high standards for the Belgian players. Castagne is shit. Even if I dropped my standards 5-fold, he's shit. But they've got good players. Bernd Leno is a very good goalkeeper. Kearney, Berge, solid midfielders. Jimenez, I like. I'm not sure who they're playing on the wings right now. If Traore is starting, or if Emil Smith-Rowe is starting, or Wilson. I'm not sure, but these are solid players. Not great players, but solid players. I don't know. Fulham have been very weird this season. I know why Everton takes the way they do. They've got a very strong midfield. Strong, powerful, big man, boss. but they've got that midfield. They've got solid defenders. They've got a good goalkeeper in Pickford. Overrated, but still good. And the only reason he's overrated is because of England fans. We know how that goes. But O'Brien, I rate highly. Dewsbury Hall, I think, is a very good player. Jarno Berry, who they bought over the summer, hasn't kicked off well, but he's a very good player. They've got a lot of players, but they take the way they do because of Jack Grealish. He runs their system. He gets them up the pitch. He creates the chances. He is the maverick of the team, isn't he? On the bench, they've got quality. Alcaraz. I think that's how to say it. My apologies if that's mispronunciation. Beto. Who's a solid backup striker. I don't think he's a good starter. I think Barry should be starting. Then again, Barry is not hitting the ground running. So I don't know there. McNeil, not a great player, but off the bench he can do a job. So they've got players there. Everton. They've got a good manager. And that's about... I mean, Everton is currently, I believe they're... Let me check the Premier League table, actually. I'm not sure what the Premier League table is at. I believe they're 14th in the table. Yeah, 14th. So they're above Fulham, but I feel like Fulham should be above Everton. I feel like Fulham should be like 10th, 11th, 12th, something in that area. Again, I've not watched them this season. I've seen statistics, results, but I've not watched them. I don't know, that's also a difficult game for me. I'll go Everton to win, just because it's at Goodison Park. I don't know what the new stadium is called, my apologies. I should look that up. I'm being lazy, aren't I? Everton, new stadium. Hill Dickinson, that's what it's called. Hill Dickinson Stadium, there you go. I'll go Everton to win just because it's at Hill Dickinson. That's... The Hill. We can call it the Hill. There you go. Everton Fulham. Big up Rosa. Can't be the worst game. It can't be the worst game, Rosa. Because we've got West Ham against Burnley up next. And that's a relegation topper if I've ever heard of one. West Ham Burnley. I mean, West Ham. Wow. Wow. I mean, wow. West Ham. When you talk about a catastrophic drop-off, this is it. I mean, they beat Newcastle, but Newcastle is struggling themselves. They're losing every game by 2 goals. Like, they're not even trying at this point. They're not even trying. Soucek is a good player. Bowen is good. Wan-Bissaka is good. And Areola is good. So how many players did I list here? Wan-Bissaka, Soucek, Bowen, Areola, and Lucas Paqueta. They've got 5 players. 5 good players in the entire team. Not less than half their starting 11 are good players. Their bench is dead, bro. Like, dead. Their squad building needs to be studied. Someone needs to absolutely study the squad building of West Ham, because it's fucking woeful. Burnley, they're sitting above relegation at the moment. I don't know. I don't know with Burnley. Yeah, they got some signings that they're above relegation, but will they survive the Premier League? Will they keep it up? Because you often have teams, and I'll get back to this with Bournemouth, but you often have teams who just overperform in the first half of the season. And I feel like Burnley is overperforming. When I look at Burnley, I don't think this is a great team. I feel like kind of lucky to win your games, if I'm being honest. When Burnley played against Wolves, they almost gave it away against a terrible Wolves team. And they beat Leeds. Okay, fair, but I feel like Leeds was pretty poor in that game. What is another game they won? I think that's the only 2 games they've won. They got battered by Man City. Absolutely battered. Pants pulled down. Dick slapped across their face. Battered. They drew Forest, but they were very lucky to play Nottingham Forest at that time with Ange Postecoglou. I feel like they're very lucky at the moment. Burnley. They're sitting above relegation, but not because they're good, but because they've had some good luck. And luck runs out. Luck runs out. Like for example, they beat Sunderland 2-0. That's another game they won that I forgot about. They beat Sunderland 2-0 at the start of the season. But that Sunderland was still trying to figure out their new system. They've got a completely new team. Xhaka, Diarra, Sadiki, their midfield. None of them there before this season. They're still figuring themselves out. Especially at match day 2, when Burnley played them. Dalby, new winger. Lafay, new winger. Brobby, new striker. I mean, their entire midfield tree and front tree is new. This is a team that's massively figuring themselves out after match day 2. So Burnley beat them, fair enough, you get the points, but it's a lot of luck, isn't it? A lot of luck. I don't feel like they're a good team. So I think... I think that's a draw. Yeah, you know, I think that's going to be a draw, and it's going to be a very boring draw as well. So I'll go Burnley. Yeah, West Ham 2-2 against Burnley. 2-2. I think it's going to be a very boring game, but I think there's going to be a few moments of brilliance. I'll say it like that. Very boring game, a few moments of brilliance from Jared Bowen. And Burnley will score twice. Somehow. Don't ask me the science. Bigger prosa. Yeah, these are definitely the games not to watch. I'm gonna be watching Everton Fulham, just because I want to see what Fulham is up to. Don't watch the West Ham game if you love yourself. Don't watch the Tottenham game, because that's gonna be boring as fuck. I'd advise, if you want to watch a game tomorrow in the Premier League, I'd advise watching Chelsea Wolves, and that's it, to be honest. And if you want to watch a game on Sunday, well, Man City, Liverpool, it's the obvious one. But I'd say Aston Villa against Bournemouth if you want to watch a game. Crystal Palace Brighton can also be interesting. All the good games are on Sunday. Like, none of the Sunday games are gonna miss. Crystal Palace Brighton is gonna be a good game. Aston Villa Bournemouth is gonna be a good game. Brentford Newcastle, that's gonna be a good game for the wrong reasons. We'll get to them. Nottingham Forest against Leeds, I think it's gonna be okay. And City Liverpool, I mean, it's CITYPOOL, isn't it? So yeah, all the good games are on Sunday, to be honest. And then Chelsea Wolves, which I think might be entertaining, at least for the first half. We'll win this. We'll win the Prem, mates. We'll win the Prem. Because Arsenal, who I'm about to talk about, plays against Crystal Palace at the Stadium of Light. Listen. Sunderland against Everton. It's poor. But guess what? They got a draw. At Stadium of Light, they got a draw. At Stadium of Light, this season is going to be difficult. They played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and got a win. A poor Chelsea, yes, but that is Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge, and Sunderland won. With a very good goal, by the way. Not a scummy goal, a very good goal. They beat Wolves, okay, you're expected to beat Wolves, everyone is. They lost to Man United at Old Trafford, but this is Man United in their purple patch, so allow it. They beat Forest, but to be fair, maybe a bit lucky to play Forest at that time. Drew against a struggling Aston Villa, maybe not the best result. Drew against Crystal Palace, when Crystal Palace was really in good form. Beat Brentford. These are good results, especially for a newly promoted side. They won the first game of the season, but that's against a very, very poor West Ham side. So, they've gotten results. They've actually gotten results. But it's Arsenal. I mean, let's put the obvious out of the way. It's Arsenal. But here is what people, and I'm going to keep repeating this. I know I've said this like a million times, but I'm going to keep repeating this. They have Champions League experience. They got promoted from the championship. They bought Talby. Champions League player. He scored a brace at Atalanta Stadium. Atalanta's super team. He scored a brace, tore them apart that game in a Champions League game. That is their right winger. They bought a right winger who's scoring braces in the Champions League after being promoted. They bought Brobby. Okay, you cannot rate him, but this is a guy who's a Dutch international. This guy has experience in the national team in the Champions League and Europa League. Xhaka. Do I need to explain Granit Xhaka to you? Football is not for you if I need to explain why Granit Xhaka is great. Sadiki, Europa League experienced player, fucking dominated the Belgian league when he was there. He was comfy. I told people when Sadiki went to Sunderland as well. Sadiki Xhaka is one of the best midfield pairings in the Premier League. It's not the best, but it's one of the best. It's so good. And Sadiki is looking great in the Premier League at the moment as well, by the way. These are all Champions League experience. Captain of an invincible team. International team experience. This is elite squad, but this is squad building that you would expect from Aston Villa. Aston Villa trying to break into top 4 is supposed to be building squads like this. But this is Sunderland. I don't think they finished top 4. But they've got an incredibly well-built squad. People don't talk about that experience. These players are not going to be scared of Arsenal. Listen, Xhaka has won an invincible title as the captain Invincible Double as captain. He's not scared of Arsenal. Sadiki has pistol league title in the Belgian league. Okay, lowered league, but he's pistol title there, being the guy. He's got Europa League experience. Dalby scored a brace in a Champions League knockout game. Robbie, Dutch international. These players will not be faced by Arsenal or by any team for that matter. That's so valuable to have. So often, when teams lose or draw games against big teams, it's because they choke. They get a one-on-one, they choke. Sunderland players are not impressed. They are used to the big stage. They're not gonna be shitting their pants. So when they play against Arsenal, if Arsenal aren't on it, bang, 1-0 down. It can happen anytime against this team. Arsenal struggle to break down a low block. They do. And I'll tell you why they struggle, yeah? It's because of how they defend so well, which they don't. This is what people need to understand, yeah? If you are defending well, if you are keeping clean sheets at the detriment of your attack, you are not defending well. That is something people need to understand. Defending good means you defend, you don't concede goals without hurting your attack. Arsenal does not do that. Arsenal's defense hurts their attack. And this is why. First of all, intensity. There were players from Saka, Gyökeres, who's injured now, but when he was fit, Kai Havertz when he was fit, Martinelli. These front three players are sprinting back in the 90th minute of a game against Slavia Praha, making sliding challenges to keep a clean sheet. That is not good defending. You are 3-0 up, 90th minute. Why is Saka sprinting back, making a challenge for the clean sheet? Why? Goal 3-1. Goal 3-1. Who gives a fuck? You've got the ball for the rest of the fucking 2 minutes of stoppage time. Who cares? But no. They sprint back. That is not good defending. That is not good defending. Look at when Man City conceded 3-1 to Dortmund. Nobody was running. Why the fuck run? Know that you're winning 3-0. Game's done. Hasta la vista, bro. Pass the ball around. Keep the ball. Game's done. But Arsenal is so obsessed with this statistic of a clean sheet, they actually forget to play football. Football is not played one game. It's a 60-game season. The way they play, yeah, they'll burn out by the time it's January. Which, by the way, it's not the first time, not the second time, not the third time, but the fourth time. The only reason why in 22-23, the treble season, Arsenal lost as long as they did is because the World Cup was in the middle of the season, which gave Arsenal a huge reprieve that they needed to keep them fit. Without that, Arsenal would have not kept fit until May. And in May, they still crumbled. It happens once in 22-23. Twice in the fourth beat season. Thrice last season. It's happened 3 times in a row. How much more evidence do people need? You look at the actual players of Arsenal. Raya. Good goalkeeper, but not great. Timber. Solid defender, but not great. Saliba. I like Saliba, but Gabriel. He's good, but that's our only defender who's good. So you've got one great centre back in Gabriel. Saliba, okay. Timber, okay. Calafiori, he might as well be a left winger. You go into your midfield. Zubimendi. I like him. Jury's out on Zubimendi. Remains to be seen. Rice. He's actually world class. I think people who disrespect Declan Rice are a bit ridiculous, so fair enough to Rice. Then you go into whoever else is in midfield. I guess Eze at the moment. Okay, Eze as a 10. Brilliant. So we've got 2 players in midfield there who was brilliant. And 1 player who I'm gonna wait a bit on. Saka. He's coming back from injury. He's gonna need time to recover. Gyökeres, well, he's injured now, so forget about him. Martinelli, he's injured. Madueke, he's in. Who do you play on the left? Who do you play left wing? They might... Bro, I swear down, I'm gonna see these guys. They're gonna play Eze, left wing, and Wanyeri in midfield. Bro, it's gonna be peak. But no, this Arsenal team, yeah, is not as good as people think. 1, 2, 3 seasons in a row where they have this high intensity in the first half of the season and people are fooled. And then they crumble because they fucking played like crackheads for half a season. And they can't, their bodies fucking crumble. And people act surprised. I don't know why people act surprised. I mean, after 3 times in a row, you'd think people would get it, but they still don't get it. It's gonna happen again. Is it gonna happen now? No. They're gonna peak in November and December. These are the peak months for Arsenal. November, December. It's all downhill from there. So, Sunderland, they can put up a good fight. And Arsenal are going to be at their best. I think right now, this is their best that they'll be all season. But they've got a lot of injuries, so they might struggle to score at Stadium of Light if Sunderland defends really well. So this could be a game that Arsenal gets bit in. 1 counter from Sunderland. You've got Champions League experience on that Sunderland bench. But get the fucking starting 11 on the bench. Or you're cooked if you play poorly on the counter. Try to break them down. Doesn't work. I can see a 0-0 draw in this game. Or maybe even a 1-0 win to Sunderland. But I'll say 1-0 to Arsenal. But Sunderland-Arsenal, that's definitely a game to... Not to watch for entertainment, because it's going to be boring. But that's definitely a game. Barca head loss rates. Go fuck yourself, Michael. Big up. Big up, Michael. Go subscribe to Michael and to Zeer. Big up to Zeer as well. Subscribe to Zeer. Subscribe to Michael. And to me. Subscribe to me as well. Thank you for the rate, Michael. But that's going to be an interesting game for the result. Game is going to be boring as fuck, though. Arsenal will lose soon. It is coming. But it won't be against Sunderland. Xhaka Ora can't save them from the corner spam. Hey, listen. You know what it is, yeah? My problem with Arsenal is not the corners or the set pieces. People who complain about set pieces. Does it win you games? Yeah. Okay, then it works. What are you complaining about? I don't get why people complain about set pieces. That is not my problem with Arsenal. Arsenal's problems are not set pieces. Arsenal's problems are that they're running like crackheads in November. They can't keep that up for 9 months. No one can. You just can't play like that for a full season. You can't. They're gonna see. They'll find out that you can't do that for the 4th time in a row. Hello, mate. Cheers. Cheers, Zeer. Calamari, more like it. Cauliflower, isn't it? Big up, Alf. Big up, Godfrey. Hope you're good as well. I'm doing great. I'm doing great at the moment. Michael, my brother. Big up, Godfrey. Big up to Michael. Big up to everyone who came over from the Michael raid as well, by the way. Right then. I need to start going through these games quicker. I've been live for almost an hour and I've barely gone through these games. Chelsea Wolves. Listen, I think this is going to be a good game to watch. I think this is going to be a good game to watch, and here's why, yeah. Chelsea are not at their best, but they're still Chelsea, right? It's still Chelsea, even if they're not at their best. Wolves is all over the fucking gaff. We're gonna see these teams, bro. They're gonna run back and forth. They're gonna be running back and forth over each other. False. But Chelsea, they're gonna just go forward because what else are they supposed to do against Wolves? Garnacho, Neto, Fernandes, whoever, Pedro, Getons. They have that guy on the bench. Estevao. All these players, yeah, they're not great players, but they're like these players who are like almost good, but they all have one defining trait that makes them bored. Garnacho, really good scorer of goals, really good running in behind, but he's fucking stupid. So you've got this player he's the package, but he's fucking stupid. It's like a Swiss Army knife in the hands of an idiot. Then you've got Pedro. He's just good, first. Then you've got Neto. He's got the technical ability. He's got the arrogance, even. But he's physically not very impressive. And his decision making can use some work. Then you've got Fernandes there, Enzo Fernandes, who's got a really good kick on him and's got strength and power and stuff. But that's about it for praise to him. He's got literally nothing else. Then you've got Estevao, another player who's got a lot of technical ability, but he doesn't have the experience to fucking make anything of it. Then you've got Jamie Getons, who's quick, but his finishing is fucking roulette. It's a Russian roulette, his finishing. And he's stupid. I mean, this is not a stupid player. I mean, this is the thing, yeah? When rating players. Technical ability is one thing, but the intelligence to use your ability is another. Compare Jamie Getons to Kudus. Kudus is fucking smart. Kudus will rinse players for fun. And he knows when to do it, how to do it, and what to do afterward. Getons, he can rinse a player, sure, but he doesn't know where he's going. He can get into the box, but he doesn't know why he's there. So he's just doing things. It's just a roulette wheel. It's like, yeah, I've got the ability to do it, but I'm not sure why I'm doing these things. Meanwhile, Kudus has the ability to do things and knows why he's doing it, has a plan when he's doing it. So Kudus is an effective player. All these Chelsea players I've just went through, they're like almost there to being good, but each one of them has one defining trait that makes them just no good. And that's why it's going to be fun to watch. Because you're going to see all of these guys flop. You're going to see all of them flop. Probably João Pedro bail them out. The only player who's actually good on all fronts. You're going to see them all flop against Wolves. But then you're going to see Wolves flop back. Because they're shit right now. Proper game. That is proper vintage Premier League football. When people tell you Barclays football, what they mean is nostalgia and players who flop for 90 minutes long. This is going to be prime Barclays football. Slant Larsen, shit striker. Gomez, shit midfielder. John Stone, shit goalkeeper. Yes, that is our goalkeeper's name. Go look that up. I mean, that's the only players even in their squad that I... No, Tolu Adobdari, a player they bought from the Belgian league. Tolu Adobdari, he's okay. But he's struggling, and isn't he? At the start of the season. So that game... That's going to be a good watch. I think Chelsea win, because they're the least bad. But that's going to be a good game. Because neither of these teams have structure, by the way. Neither of these teams have good structure. So when neither team has good structure, you just see players go in 1v1s all the time. And Chelsea will win the 1v1s because they're the better team. But it gives you something interesting to watch. So yeah, I'll go Chelsea 3-1. 3-1. They'll concede a goal because they're shit. But yeah. Wolves manager bounce, bro. Wolves managers. I mean, Wolves lost 5 games. No, they lost 3 games, drew 2 games. No, I think they lost. They did not win a single game. They gave him a new contract. Then they continued to lose games and they sacked him. They gave this guy a new contract after 5 games. Then they sacked him after 10 games. Why give him a new contract? Wolves are the crap. Chelsea win. Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. His finishing is a roulette. He'll miss that chance against Spurs, but then he'll play against fucking, I don't know, Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, and he'll fucking, the goal from Hazard against West Ham. He'll do that, bro. Against Spurs, he'll miss that chance, but then he'll play at the Bernabeu and he'll score that fucking Hazard goal. It's roulette wheel. Roulette wheel. Anyone else think Savio will score? Unfortunately not, to be honest. Against Liverpool, probably not. Yeah, I don't think he'll even play, if I'm being honest. But again, we'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah, I'll go 3-1 Chelsea. 3-1 Chelsea. Crystal Palace Brighton. I'm not sure about this game, actually. Because, listen, I'll say this first. Yeah. Crystal Palace is a good team. They've got good players. Jordan Henderson. Dean Henderson, my apologies. Dean Henderson should be the goalkeeper for England. I think he's the best English goalkeeper. Guehi is a very solid centre back. Munoz is a very solid right back, wing back, whatever the fuck he plays. Lerma is okay. Mitchell is okay. They've got good players. Mateta, very good striker. They've got good players. Crystal Palace. I'll look over at Brighton. I mean, Brighton have good players as well, but it's not quite coming off right now. And they don't have the quality they used to have as well. Because you look at Brighton right now, and okay, they do have the Kuiper. Maxime de Kuiper, very good player, I rate him highly. Mitoma is still there. Minty is a mint player, to be fair. But Rutter is not a good striker. Rutter, poor. O'Reilly in midfield, I don't think he's that great. Baleba, so overrated. He's incredibly good at defending, but he's not a midfielder. This guy is a centre back, bro. Cannot do midfield work. Ayari. I mean, another player who's... So I'm looking at all these players and I'm like, Brighton isn't quite at it anymore, are they? They've got an experienced manager. But how far does that take you, really? You know what? I'll go Crystal Palace to win. I just don't feel like Brighton is that good this season. Crystal Palace to win 2-0. 2-0 to Palace. Nothing much else to say there. Yeah, Palace 2-1, 2-0, something like that. I like Minty, but he is inconsistent, isn't it? Well, Welbeck isn't that good right now, is he? Sunderland win 3-1. No, we will be there, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Van Hekken, decent centre back. Yeah, I like Van Hekken, but... I mean, you look at this Brighton team, and it doesn't have the quality of previous Brighton teams, does it? That's the thing. It doesn't have the quality of previous Brighton teams. Aston Villa against Bournemouth. Now, I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. Entertainment-wise. Like, football-wise, it's going to be the best game. Because... I mean, both of these teams are in an interesting position, in my opinion. I think Bournemouth is a good team that is overperforming. And Aston Villa is a good team that's underperforming. And I'll say why here. Because right now, Bournemouth are third, I believe, in the table. Let me check. They're fifth. Okay, fifth, fair. But they're not fifth quality, are they? Like, you look at Brighton right now. Are they fifth quality? Not really. They've got good players. Semenyo, Tavernier, good players. T-Slot. Troopy, I don't actually rate that highly. I think Evan Nielsen is better than him. Even if he's had a poor start to the season. But then you look in midfield. Kluivert is very good, but for some reason he's getting benched. Scott Adams, I like. Jimenez, I'm not a big fan of, to be honest, but I need to see more. Senesi, very experienced, solid centre back there. And then Petrovic, an okay goalkeeper. So you look at Bournemouth, they've got a good team. But this is not a top 5 team, is it? This is like a team for 8th, 9th, 10th. They had a good start to the season. But cream rises to the top. That's a saying. I like it now. I picked up that saying from Sava. Take up to him. Cream rises to the top. Over time, class is permanent, form is temporary. Aston Villa has had poor form, but they've got class players and a class manager. Whereas Bournemouth have good players and a good manager. In fact, you could say it's an incredible manager even. But they've got quality, absolutely, but not quite of the Aston Villa quality. Yeah, Aston Villa has been in poor form. Bournemouth, have been in good form. But I'll look at these two teams and I'll think surely Aston Villa is the better team here. I know they lost to Liverpool, but it's Liverpool. Matty Cash, incredible right back. I don't get why people don't rate him. Dibu Martinez needs no introduction. Konsa, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Dickney, moving a bit suspicious this season, but we'll allow it. Kamara, Onana, these are the players. These are the players that they have. Ross Barkley, Doniel Malen, these are the players. Ollie Watkins, okay, average striker, always will be average, but still, that's a striker there. Rodgers, McGinn, incredible forwards partnership. They've got players. Surely, if you compare just player-to-player squads, Aston Villa win out. So, yeah, Bournemouth is up top right now, but surely Aston Villa need to be climbing up again. And yeah, Bournemouth had a good start, but I don't think they'll stay up in top 5. So for that, I mean, it's going to be interesting. If Bournemouth win that game, like, and continue winning games, then I'm going to start thinking, yeah, maybe they are up here, but I think Aston Villa, that this should be the statement for Aston Villa. We lost to Liverpool, but we beat Man City. What Aston Villa are we? Are we in Aston Villa that is competing for Champions League spots? Or are we in Aston Villa that goes down and down and down until we get relegated 4 or 5 seasons down the road? This is the game, I think, where Aston Villa can impose themselves in it. Oh, nothing happened to Watkins. He's always been average. This is the problem. People look too much at the media. Average player, always has been. But the media hypes him up because he's young. And when he stops being young, he stops being entertaining to the media. So they stop giving him attention. Ollie Watkins has had one good season, like most Premier League strikers do. What's his name? Richarlison had a great season at Everton. Lukaku also at Everton, actually. All these strikers have one good season. That doesn't make them good strikers. Ollie Watkins was just a fancy toy, but an average striker. Always has been, always will be. But this is what the media does. They take a fancy toy, they parade it around, then throw it away. This is what English media does. 2-2. Roger, it's not the same, hot and cold. I think Rodgers can do a job though, and McGinn as well. I think is McGinn and Rodgers are class again. Class beats form. So I think Aston Villa. That this is where Aston Villa needs to start coming back to their level. Beats Bournemouth at home, by the way. Beats Bournemouth 2-1, and build your momentum up. Go. Start winning some games, because if I look at the next game for Aston Villa, it's Leeds. That's back-to-back wins. Then it's Wolves, 3 wins in a row. Then it's Brighton, that might be tough. But you can build a winning run here if you're Aston Villa. Go do that, I'd say. Come back to the level they should be at, basically. Brentford against Newcastle. Newcastle are a lot of... I've gone a lot here today, but 1 second. Aston Villa is going to get spanked only to beat Arsenal again. I think Rosa is in for you, Godfrey. I think Rosa is in for you. Brentford, Newcastle. The thing is here with Brentford, I like Brentford. They've got a good team. They've got something nice to get it there. Newcastle, on the other hand, their defense is washed. Like, their defense is washed, mate. Look at the Newcastle defense. Nick Pope, washed. Nick Pope is old and washed. Let's be honest about it. What's his name? The right back. Livramento, injured. Shard, Botman, old. Burn, old. Like, this is their entire defense. Old or washed. You look at their midfield. Bruno Guimaraes. Good player. But is he the creme de la top? Not really. Tonali. Yeah, okay. Joe Linton. Off the bench, maybe. Joe Linton, but starting 11. Joe Linton isn't their starting 11. So you've got Guimaraes there and Tonali, and you think you're kind of cooking, but then you've got Joe Linton. Okay, what about attack? Gordon? Murphy? I mean, Harvey Barnes? It's even not that good on midfielder, nobody fucking knows. Ilanga? Okay, I mean, got Walter Made, who I think is world class. Or will be world class. It's not yet, but he will be. I mean, this is a poor Aston Villa team. You compare to what Aston Villa used to have and what they have now. It's no, it's not the quality. So, nah, I don't see it right now for this Newcastle team. 3-2 Brentford. Trippier. I forgot. Yeah, they've still got Trippier. He is a good player, but I don't think Tonali is playing to his best football right now either, to be honest. Maybe that's a product of the team he's in. Maybe. But the average people hype him because of a few goals. I agree completely. He's an average player. So you look at that Newcastle team, I don't rate... Not one of their defenders I'd rate. Including their goalkeeper. Not one of them I'd rate. Midfield has a okay, good Tonali, but not the top level Tonali. Strong Guimaraes, Joe Linton. I mean, this is not a team, is it? Then meanwhile, I'm gonna contrast quickly to Brentford. My striker, Igor Thiago. People, I'm gonna have to tell you guys about Igor Thiago. Club Brugge in 23-24 would have not finished top 5 without Igor Thiago. Would have not finished top 6 without Igor Thiago. That man carries, bro. Put the club on his back. Brugge to be first in the table. Then he got injured. But once we were first, we figured ourselves out. But absolute carry job, bro. he was dragging along. He was like Atlas. He's holding up the world. That is what he was doing for the Bruges. And in Europe. Not just in the Belgian league, but in Europe. And yeah, it's the Farmers League, but it's a fact, yeah. De Bruyne, not Hazard, Courtois, Senna Lammens, these players come from the Farmers League of Belgium, bro. A lot of top players come from the Belgian league. So, this is a guy. He is that guy. People disrespect him. I see people say that Igor Thiago is not a good player. I'm sorry, football is not for you. Otara, I like. Sade, very good player. Damsgaard. These are players. Coyote, Ayer, Henderson in midfield. Jordan Henderson this time. Gallagher, top goalkeeper. They've got some holes in that team for sure. I'm not really sure who they put next to Damsgaard and Henderson, to be honest. Van den Berg. Collins, centre backs. So there's holes in that team, but that's what you expect from a mid-table team. But there are more fillings than there are holes. There's more mass than there's hole. But Newcastle is the other way around at the moment. They've got really beautiful players. I mean, their defense, it just doesn't exist. Their midfield has a hole in it. Their attack, which, okay, they've got a brilliant striker. Their attack is missing 2 good wingers. I think Brentford win, to be honest. I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2-1. This team lost to West Ham. Yeah. Especially this version of West Ham. Yeah, bro, I mean, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Godfrey. This is not Newcastle of 5. This is not Newcastle of last year. Thiago Brace tomorrow. Tillemans, Janssen. I mean, yeah, they've got players, bro. Big up, Alf. I know I'm late, but you're doing well. Big up, Adam. Hope you're doing well as well. No words about being late, of course, because you're here. Hey, just repeat myself. I get more people watching these Premier League previews on replay than I get people watching them live. So the fact that my chat is very active today is already a good sign, isn't it? Watch nobody fucking watch it on replay now. You know how it goes. Anyhow. I think Newcastle is nowhere near. I'll go 2-1 Brentford. Nottingham Forest. Hey, Nottingham Forest against Leeds United. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck? What's Marinakis, however the fuck you say his name, thinking when he decided, let me sack Nuno Espirito Santo? Absolute crack. He was smoking blunt so strong he could not fucking see 5 meters past him because there was a smoke screen ahead of his eyes, bro. Bruv, this guy was high. I'm not talking high, I'm talking high to the moon, bro. He was swimming in pure acid. How do you sack a manager who takes you from 16th, I believe, or 17th, to fucking 5th? How do you sack that? Or 6th or whatever. How do you sack that? It's so dumb. It's actually so dumb. But, hey, it is what it is. They sacked Nuno. And they've got a squad built by Nuno, for Nuno, without Nuno. Now Sean Dyche comes in. Incredibly different style of football. And they struggle. Oh, who could have fucking guessed? Who could have fucking guessed, mate? You take away the manager for who you built the squad. And you replace him with Anja fucking Postecoglou. And it goes downhill. So Sean Dyche now. I like Sean Dyche. He's a good manager. Is this is not a squad for Sean Dyche. It's too attacking, this squad. This is not a 4-4-2, sit back, enjoy squad. And football, it's moving away from that. Average teams are now able to break down 4-4-2s. They are. So, yeah. I think Forest is cooked, if I'm being honest. If Nottingham Forest lose this game, they get relegated. If they lose this game, it's relegation for Forest. If they win this game, then maybe they start coming back. I think they lose. If I'm being terribly honest, I think they lose. 1-2 Leeds, and I'm not even trying to glaze Leeds here. This is not about Leeds United being good. This is about Nottingham Forest taking everything they've built up and fucking just throwing down the castle, just break it apart, sledgehammer through everything. It's impressive how you can fuck up such a beautiful project in such a short period of time. But it's happened to the perfect club. Wolfie. If you don't know who Wolfie is, bro. Forest fans, for some reason, they waffle too much, bro. Nottingham Forest fans, they've seen fuck all trophies in their lifetime, bro. And they talk shit like they've won 20 trophies or something in the past fucking week. It could not happen to a more beautiful club for it to happen to. I am so happy that this is happening to Nottingham Forest. Because their fan base is second worst in the league behind Man United. Third worst behind Man United and Arsenal. Let me be fair here. It could not happen to a better fan base. I'll go 1-2. 1-2 to Leeds. And Forest is cooked. Forest is cooked if they don't win this game. Tielemans came from Belgian League. That's why I mentioned him from when you were talking about Forest. I know. I don't actually know what to predict for the Forest Leeds game. Can go either way. I agree with this. It can go either way. If Forest lose, they're fucking cooked. So that's why I predict Forest to lose. It'd be the funniest. Sean Dyche will fix them up. Don't worry. Wolfie will escape relegation barely and celebrate like a shameless moron. That's a bit harsh. But bro, they're not escaping relegation. Let me hire Highline for life. But what are you thinking? Genuinely, how can you see Ange Postecoglou take a comfortable top 6 side to finish 17th and you think, yeah, I need this manager? What? You might as well hire me. Listen, I will do it for half the wages that Ange Postecoglou did it for. Hire me. I'll get you the same results for half the wages. What do you think? Call me up. I'd love Leeds to win, though. Yeah, I'd love Leeds to win. Last game to talk about. The penultimate game. The most important game. The game that shows us how back Man City is, or how back Liverpool is, or cue sensational bullshit. Whatever. This game is gonna be absolute cinema. Haaland is on 98 goals. 98 goals, guys. You know what the most goals is Haaland has scored in a game against Liverpool? 1. Haaland has scored against Liverpool 1 time in the Carabao Cup. 1 goal in 1 game. 2 times in the Champions League for Salzburg. Each game, just 1 goal. And I believe once in the Premier League. I think once in the Premier League as well. He's never scored more than 1 goal in a game against Liverpool. Now, 98 goals. Guys. Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. Yeah, I don't need to spell it out. You know where I'm going with this. Ryan Sherky. The guy I glaze for fun. He's about to fucking have a field day. He's gonna have a fucking field day. Foden. Just before we play against Liverpool. Just before I'm a Man City fan. If you... I think my... shirt is in front of the shirt. But there you go. Man City shirt. Beautiful. Blue shark in the background as well. We've got all the beautiful Man City stuff. So, just before we play against Liverpool. Foden. What a time to come back. Bro, this is like when you have a notch apple in Minecraft. You know, you have a notch apple in Minecraft. This is the time to use it. You chew that motherfucker down and you're like a god at the moment. You feel untouchable. Then you get knocked off the map. I know, but this is the time, bro. And Foden, he took his notch apple. He's back up to health, bro. He's back there. You look right now. All out injured players back. Rodri has been brought back to fitness specifically for this game. Specifically for this game, Man City have tried to get Rodri back to fitness. Rodri, Gonzalez, Cherky, Foden. Not sure who. Doku. Let's say Doku. Whatever. Okay. Doku is gonna rinse. What's his name? Frimpong. Ping pong ball, bruv. C-Tech Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold from Wish, bruv. Our defense. Bro, people sleep on our defense. We have the best defense in the league. Forget Arsenal. Their best defense is sprint 90 minutes long because you want to keep a clean sheet. That ain't defending, mate. That's ruining your fucking team by January. Good job, Arteta. Love to see it. All our players, bro. We are ready. We are ready, guys. I'm asking a question to Liverpool. Are you ready? Alexander Isak, what has he done? Everyone is better than Haaland until it's time to be better than Haaland. Isak, best striker in the world. Less assists than Haaland this season. Less goals than Haaland this season. Missing. Ekitike took your spot, bro. Ekitike might as well spin your girlfriend too. Because, mate, you lost your chain at Newcastle. You tried to snatch Ekitike's chain. Bruv, you're in the cock chair now. Congrats, Isak. Congratulations. Words. Ben 10 in the Premier League. Look at the Premier League. 0 goals, 0 assists, 10 games. Ben 10. 150 million or 120 million. Name whatever the price, bro. Whatever it is, £2 would have been too much. Bro, they're inventing running stats for the 10. Congratulations. Salah. Ain't having the best form right now, are you? To Liverpool's credit, they have Szoboszlai, who is playing incredibly well. Alisson, who is Alisson. Gakpo, who is okay, I like Gakpo. Not great, not bad. Just a squad player. They have players there. They've got Van Dijk. But I look at Man City right now. And I'm thinking, bro. We are a shark. Blue shark behind me. I am thinking. I smell blood. I smell blood, bro. Liverpool. You have had your Fugazi. You beat Real Madrid, bro. Congratulations, you beat Real Madrid. Club Brugge drew fucking Barcelona, so... Congrats, you beat Madrid, bro. That league is finished. Villarreal lost to fucking Puffles. Like, who the fuck is Puffles? That sounds like a fucking... there is a Moroccan word... Don't ask. So I know this Moroccan word because I had Moroccan friends growing up in school. I live in a mostly immigrant area. In school, I had Moroccan friends. So this is how I know the words. Lachen. It means masturbating. Buffles. Bro, they lost to fucking Buffles. Villarreal lost to a fucking masturbation club. The fuck is this, bro? Barcelona draw to Club Brugge. They have to rob Bruges to get a draw. Then Madrid fucking lose to. Okay, you beat Madrid. Congratulations. You beat a struggling Aston Villa. Congratulations, bro. But I'm here to talk about real shit, yeah? 4 losses in a row. But Fugazi is about to end because you're about to play at the Etihad. Cherky is on it. Something number 10 words. Got never. So, listen. If they play Bradley, by the way, they're cooked. They're absolutely cooked if they have to play Bradley. Haaland is getting the best of Van Dijk. Old Van Dijk against Prime Haaland. Bro. I am eating, guys. I'm eating dinner, breakfast, everything. Phil Foden got that goal from distance in his locker. It's done. This game is done before it even begins. I'm gonna come out with chests. I'm gonna be the annoying City fan and I'm gonna come out with chests, bro. We're gonna spank Liverpool. I am more confident that we beat Liverpool than that I was that we would beat Dortmund. Yeah? I'm more confident about beating Liverpool than I was about beating Dortmund. Liverpool ain't on the paces, bro. I'm just saying. Liverpool are about to be put through the paces, mate. I'm gonna say a draw for obvious reasons. But if there's gonna be a winner, probably City. I can see a battering if you win 3-1. Hey, fairs. Cherky will show words how to play as a 10, bro. Hey. Big up to Matthäus. Matthäus told me, bro. He told me in the summer, Words is the German Tom Cleverley. And I told Matthäus he's crazy, but bruv, who's crazy now? Matthäus knew, bruv. He knew that Words would flop. And guess what happened? He flopped. Elite ball knowledge from Matthäus. Man City will spank Liverpool 3-1. Haaland brace and Foden goal. 100 goals. 100 Premier League goals, guys. Erling Haaland. On Van Dijk's headstop. It's beautiful, guys. My GOAT company could never concede a striker's 100th goal on his headstop. I'm just saying. Mr. 125 million Isak. Imagine buying Isak when you already have a better striker for all that money. Bruv. Let's see if Bradley can lock up Doku. Nice locking up average Vinny. I'm not sure if Doku will play. To be honest, he might. But I think we might go with Marmoush. Because Marmoush scores fucking goals. Nothing much to say there. Marmoush scores goals, isn't it? So I think that I think that I don't know who is gonna start that game, because sometimes you try to figure out what Pep is thinking, but Pep is crazy and Pep is on cocaine, so you can't predict what. Guys, I know the secret. If you want to be a top Premier League manager, secret is cocaine. That's a joke, please don't do cocaine. Marmoush will be worse, has a lethal shot on him as well. Yeah, I agree, he's got a lethal shot, he's good playmaking wise. I think it might be Marmoush, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. Either way, I think we win. I'm gonna say it with yes. And I'll leave it there, bro. Is anyone live? Let me see if I can redirect to anyone before I end the stream. But yeah, that's my Premier League predictions. I waffled for an hour and a half somehow. Remember, I don't do any preparation for these streams. I do these streams because it's a stream. You don't want me to prep. If you wanted me to prepare things, I'd do it in a video, right? So So I don't do any real preparation for these streams. So the fact that I'm talking an hour and a half, I actually am kind of surprised that I had that much to talk about. But though, I'm gonna be honest here, Premier League is kind of coming back. Premier League in the 2010s was fucking dead. Anyone who tells you the Premier League in the 2010s was good is fucking brain dead. I'll swear it down. It's all nostalgia. I hate nostalgia merchants. Yeah? Nostalgia merchants, they always tell you the Premier League was so good back then. No, it wasn't. Barclays Premier League was shit to watch. I know, I watched it. But the Premier League is kind of coming back, bro. Premier League is kind of cooking recently. I watched that Sunderland game. Sunderland against Everton, and oh, that was a cooking game. It was 1-1. That game cooked. Premier League is kind of coming back, I can't lie. Anyhow, big up Godfrey. Yes, don't do cocaine, that was a joke. Alfred in chat, guys, and thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.